Holding it in my hand, it actually looks like some piece of alien technology. This is for all the gearheads that get excited about mounting hardware, just like this. You can see it's from Toyota. I'd highly recommend getting these for exhaust manifolds. These are M10 by 1.25, so it's a fine thread. And if you can see there, you'll notice it's got a Torx bit on the end of it. So if you want to loosen or tighten this, you can put a socket on it and don't have to use a double nut method. Here's the final piece, complete exhaust manifold system with a cross pipe leading up to the turbo. Very happy with the way it came out. I'm also keen to see the weight savings that we had over the previous system. Before I get locked up in the comments section, just so you can see, it's fully braced and supported. This ends up getting bolted up onto the block to support all that extra weight, since I am using a thin wall stainless steel tube.
Let's do a quick weight check on these. .2, 6.1, that's 12.3 so far. 5.6. Okay, that's reading 4.8. Let's call it 3.2. This assembly over here comes in at 40 pounds, and this comes in at 17 pounds. Let's just call it 18 pounds. That's a huge weight saving, more than half. Remember earlier when I spoke about how nice the studs were? Well, these are the copper nuts I'm going to be using for fastening the exhaust manifolds. I'd always recommend using copper nuts for any of the hard parts, especially on the exhaust. Okay, so check this out. Keep your eye on this part. Watch as I tighten this flange up onto the head. Perfect. Okay, so same with this side. I've got this really sweet 46mm precision wastegate. I was a bit hesitant at getting this wastegate at first without having everything in place. You know, just worried about clearance, but this gate is going to fit perfectly over there. I want to talk about the importance of a high quality wastegate like this precision over here. In my opinion, you cannot beat this in terms of value for money. Extremely affordable and one of the very best aftermarket wastegates that you can get for high performance applications. In fact, even if you're not making a lot of horsepower, I would still highly recommend a good quality wastegate. You know, this controls the boost, so you know you can go run these low budget China wastegates, but you know the chance of blowing up your engine because of overboost is a high probability. Even with boost leaks, you know that's what happens with these low quality wastegates. Either get stuck in an open or closed position. So you know when it comes to turbochargers like this one, this is just a generic, I guess, eBay or China turbocharger.
It's 100% fine. You know, if this turbo does happen to have a failure, there's not going to be any catastrophic damage. Whereas with a wastegate, like I said, you know, you can end up hurting the engine. So do not cheap out on wastegates. And as I mentioned, the precision, you cannot go wrong with this. Probably the best wastegate out there for value for money.